Hey, somebody needs to go to the gym. You have? Excellent. Good morning, afternoon, or evening. You are listening to The Professional Noticer. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy Andrews. Hey, thank you for making me a part of your week. My purpose here today and with every show we do is to play the part of a best friend or a coach. I want to help you live the life of your wildest dreams by giving you access to the greatest mentors the world has to offer today. The Professional Noticer is sponsored this week by our friends at Tucker ATV. You know, the sheer variety of power sport products at Tucker ATV will blow your mind. Hustler turf equipment, the entire line of Echo power tools, and of course, Tucker ATV carries every make and model of Polaris ATVs. They have the big Polaris side-by-sides, the even bigger Ranger Crew, and you have to see the showroom. Taxidermy, antique displays, an indoor porch with a porch swing, comfortable chairs, television, coffee. Stop in to meet Shannon and Lisa Tucker. They are awesome. They treat customers like family, which is why folks from 14 states have done business with Tucker ATV. Highway 43 North in Jackson, Alabama. Tucker ATV, the small town business with the national reputation. Observations and answers, that's what we do here on The Professional Noticer. And as you know, we love it when somebody comes to the table with both. We have something and someone very unusual this week. You know, I am really into interesting people. And I think I know more of them than most people. I think, you know, I think my cadre of friends, I'll put their interestingness, weirdness, whatever, up against anybody's. So I have some great friends that have done very unusual things. In fact, I would like to put a lineup of my friends on What's My Line and let people just guess what they do for a living. I could show you my guest right now, and you would never guess how he grew up. You'd never guess what he did last week. You'd never guess what he's going to do next week. But you would be fascinated. Jonathan Young is, well, we'll tell you how he was raised, but he is the president of a youngstrengthmission.com, and you will hear more about that. He's also a professional wrestler. He's a television star. And he was on one of the most successful and popular television shows ever. We'll get him to talk about that. And just welcome my buddy. Please welcome Jonathan Young.
Thank you, Mr. Andy.
I am thrilled that you're here.
What a great intro.
Well, you know, I've been trying to get you for a while. We see each other occasionally in the grocery store.
That's right.
And,
yes,
and we'll run over each other and text occasionally. And so I just recently, I said, whatever we do, let's just get Jonathan on. I don't care when, I don't care what we got to do. And so I'm glad you were in town.
I'm honored to be here.
Now, so you were just wrestling last week.
Yes, sir.
And your mentor, who you met when you were like 21 or 22 years old.
Yes, sir. About 22.
Your mentor is a guy that we've heard about all our lives. Your mentor is Lex Luger.
Yes,
Lex
sir.
Luger. Lex Luger, who is the WWE icon. How did you meet this guy?
So I met Mr. Lex at the First Baptist Church of Gulf Shores. Believe it or not, it's a crazy story. I was leaving the state because I was chasing a girl. Really? I bought a travel trailer off of Craigslist, is what it was back in the day.
How old were you?
I was 22.
22, okay.
And I was like, I'm going to California. I got to get out of here.
Now, were you already at the University of Alabama at that point?
I came back. This is after I swam at the University of Alabama.
Okay, because you were on a swimming scholarship at the University of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
You're 22 years old, got your travel trailer, got your eye on a girl.
Yeah.
Going to California.
That's
All
right.
right, so what happened?
So I got my eye on this girl. I hook up the travel trailer, and you won't believe this, but 3 tires popped by the time I got to Louisiana. 3 tires popped. I never had a tire pop in my entire life. I barely knew how to change a tire. I get to Louisiana and I'm like, I'm just going to stay here for the night. I wanted to get more miles under my belt, but I'm not dealing with this for the rest of the day.
Right.
I end up opening my travel trailer because I was sleeping in it.
Sure.
And it wasn't working right. The mosquitoes were eating me. I'm going, this is not going well. I'm turning around. I think God might not want me to do this. That's the truth. I started getting a hint that this wasn't a good idea. And I turned back around, and it was like maybe Friday of that week when I got back. And then I heard that Lex Luger, who's a wrestling icon, is going to be at my church, First Baptist Gulf Shores. And I went and I listened to his testimony, and it hit me. And I was like, man, this guy, he did it all. He had everything from the world's perspective. And now he's here talking about God. There's something different about this guy. I want to do what he did, and I want to be like him. But at this point, Mr. Lex was in a wheelchair.
Really?
Mr. Lex is paralyzed. And back in the day, Mr. Lex had a better body than I've ever had and probably ever will have. He was built like a brick house. And, but the way he speaks, he's got more peace than I had and still have. Like, look, Mr. Lex has all of this peace, and he's comfortable with himself. And anyways, I go up and talk to him. I said, Mr. Lex, I want to do what you did. I want to be a wrestler. And he looked at me. He goes, you got the look. And you should go.
Were you as big then as you are now?
Not quite, but I was pretty big.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And he started training me. So I went up to his house and I stayed with him. I went straight from the church to maybe a month later going to Mr. Lex's house and working out with him every day.
Now, where does he live?
He lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
He still lives there.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. And he trained me. He gave me his plan of like what to eat, how to work out, everything. And I've been going by that for 10 years now.
Okay.
I've been doing this workout plan for 10 years. And
it looks like it worked.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir. And just now, because of, life and everything, I'm just getting into wrestling for real. And it is so much fun.
Yeah, now I want to come back to the wrestling thing.
Yes.
Because after 10 years, you're just getting into the wrestling thing for real.
Yes, sir.
And so and before we get to that, there's so many things I want to ask you about. But before we get to that, what was your physical fitness regimen growing up with your dad?
So when I was living in Gadsden, Alabama, that's where I was born. At about 3 years old, my dad started working out with us every morning. He would wake my brother and I up, and he would make us. We were in between the two hills or mountains, and he would say, Jonathan, you got to run up that mountain, and if you stop, you got to do it 3 more times.
And you're 3?
I was 3 is when this started. I would do pull-ups, push-ups, all body weight. And I enjoyed it because I thought it was like a game. My brother, not so much, but I loved it.
He was old enough to know what was going on.
Yeah, he knew what was going on. But I did that for, till I was 12 with him. I worked out all the time in the mornings because my dad, he always wanted to have strong men that he raised. There was no in between. He wanted us to be strong mentally and physically and spiritually because
you would work out and he would read Proverbs to you.
Yes, sir. Because right after we do the workout, we would have a Bible study. And my dad would read his Proverbs all the time. That was his favorite book and probably still is his favorite book of the Bible. And it stuck. I know a lot of Proverbs because of my dad.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. And so you were homeschooled?
Homeschooled my whole life. All of grade school. I was homeschooled until college.
Yeah. And then went to University of Alabama on a swimming scholarship.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Wow.
I saw Michael Phelps swimming in like 2008, I think, when he was in Beijing. And I was like, man, I think I can do that. And I went to the pool like the next day with my dad, and he timed me. and I started swimming. I got involved with the Gulf Shore swim team and then the Orange Beach swim team. And I happened to race the head coach's son, Alabama head coach, swimming head coach, and I beat him. And he talked to my coach. He said, I want this guy to come swim for me. And so I packed up within maybe 2 months because it was in the summer before college.
Wow.
And I found a place to live and started swimming.
Good grief.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, if people haven't recognized you by now, a lot of times people, people look at me. Sometimes I catch people looking at me, and I always say, I'm not famous enough that people would go, oh my gosh, it's Andy Andrews. I'm famous enough that people look at me and go, did we go to high school together? It's like, where did I know you from? And so you kind of have a little of that too.
Yes, sir.
Because you were on a season of Survivor and almost won it. I mean, it kills me even looking at the replays of that you didn't win that.
Man, Mr. Andy, it was rough because I got to the last episode and my buddy Mike, spoiler alert, he beat me in making fire. And if I would have beat him, then I would have gone to the final 3, maybe had $1 million. But I wasn't upset about it because I got the opportunity that nobody got. You never get to just go survive on an island like that and see how you can do, how you can fare. So
How many episodes did you?
13. Because
you made it to the final one.
Yes, sir.
Good grief. And I mean, if you go back and look, and you can go on YouTube and look at these things, and we're going to play some stuff. Some of this stuff is you were head and shoulders above a lot of these people.
Thank you.
Where was the island?
Fiji.
Fiji.
Yes, sir. I had a little bit of an upper hand because I was on a show called Endurance, which is like Survivor for kids when I was 14.
Really?
And it happened to be in Fiji. They never did it in Fiji before. And that island was right across the way, maybe 10 miles from the island I was on. So I had an idea about Fiji and how everything felt, the sand, how it was different. And yes, sir, it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
So what was a point in that show that you thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this, and then you did?
I knew no matter what that I was going to stay there till the end. There's not an ounce of me that would quit. That's just, it's partially because of my dad, the way he raised me.
Right.
I could never quit.
So some people do.
Yes, sir. And that's upsetting because of the amount of people that want to go on this show and get the opportunity. To quit is a little bit of a slap in the face of a legacy of Survivor because you have so much respect for the game. To be able to go do something like that is once in a lifetime. Not only is it a blessing, it's a little bit of luck, I guess you would say.
Sure. Because
about 10, 20,000 people send in a video or they go try out in person. So, yes, sir, there wasn't a bit of me that would quit Survivor.
So 20,000 people try to get on, and how many do they take?
18.
18. Man, and at some point you're going into teams.
Right.
And there, I watched when it was like Team Jonathan. I mean,
Thank you.
Those guys, I mean, they knew your team knew what they had in you. And they were with the other teams like, yeah, well, we got Jonathan, And I mean, you're seeing you sinking those baskets, holding that ladder up for those. Oh my gosh. It was just, it was thrilling. And it was that heartbreaking to me when you were off. I was just like, the show was over for me. Show was over.
Thank you. I got to stay longer because I could help my tribe. Because in all honesty, the last person you want to be at the end is somebody that is the survivor. You want somebody that you can sit by, that you can beat for sure. That's the whole plan is you get out everybody that is the best. or that did the best so you can win $1 million. So I don't blame them for voting me out or trying to get me out at all. I think it's a good plan.
That is hilarious. Tell me about your mission thing, the Young Strength Missions.
Yes, sir. So another, I don't even know how to explain this. A man out of nowhere named Pastor Randy, he messaged me on Instagram and he said, "Hey, come down to Nicaragua with me. We'll pay for everything. We want to see if you like it or if you can help us in the future once you come down." And I told Mike, who was on the show with me, who's one of my best friends now, I talked to him a week ago. I said, we should go down to Nicaragua. There's a lot of problems down there, and I think we could help. Now that we have a little bit of fame, we can use it to help them. And out of nowhere, Pastor Randy says, come down to Nicaragua. I said, Mike, did you talk to this Randy guy? He goes, no, I have no idea who you're talking about. So we both went down to Nicaragua, and we saw that it was the real deal. We were going down there, getting our hands dirty, building houses. We saw that the people's money that was donated was going to the right place. So it hit home with me. I've always wanted to do missions, and I found a group of people that really did it.
Yeah.
They weren't pulling anybody's leg. They weren't trying to make a dollar. So from there, I kept going back after I went to Nicaragua. And Pastor Randy said, you should start your own so that you can do different things that we're doing.
Right.
Because there's so much to be done. Like politically, Nicaragua is terrible right now.
Yeah.
They're communists. So I started Young Strength Missions, and we started building houses, and then we just built a school down on the river, Coco River, in between Honduras and Nicaragua, in the middle of nowhere. And like nobody's even seen a white guy down there. And I started seeing that we could really, really do something special. So that's how it started, was through Pastor Randy.
And so what do you guys do? Like, what's the daily thing, even while you're up here?
I'm trying right now to raise money for 3 different families. So either I go or somebody that's connected to me goes, and they look at the area and they go, is this real? Is this the real deal or not? And Pastor Randy and my buddy Josh, who works with Young Strength Missions, just went down to build houses in Honduras for families that have nothing. And he came back and he said, there's 3 families we want to build houses for, because Josh is my partner with Young Strength Missions. And he said, the first family is a woman, her husband abandoned her. She's got 3 kids, and they're living in a mud hut. And it costs $5,000 to build a house for each family. So what we're doing right now is we're raising $5,000 for the Martinez family. And then after that house, we go to the next house, we fund that one, and then the next one. And then I'll go down there and help them build, make sure that everything's done right, that people's money is used correctly.
Buddy, that is awesome. So youngstrengthmissions.com
Yes, sir.
is how we can get a hold of that and follow you. How else do we follow you?
So Young Strength on Instagram, it's just Young Strength. If you want to keep up with me and see,
we're gonna list all your connections on the show notes.
Okay.
And so, but we've got great viewers and listeners, and I'm sure a lot of us would love to help.
Well, thank you.
So, how else do we get up with you?
I mean, that's the number one thing, is either go to the website or on Instagram. I don't do a whole lot of different social media things. It's normally Instagram or the website. And what I am doing with Josh is we don't take a penny. Every dollar that is sent to us, we make sure that it goes straight to them, to the families that really need it. Because I do feel a calling for that. I think God puts responsibilities in everybody's life. Like you're doing this because God put it in your heart to do it. I believe that. I believe that you wrote all those books because I see it. I'm halfway through the noticer, and I see that like it's focused around God. The things that Jones is teaching people are godly principles.
All right.
And there's no denying that, and I love it.
So how do you make a living? I mean, with your beach services.
Yes.
So you started the beach thing, this was several years ago, and this has become one of the biggest beach services on the Gulf Coast.
It's helped a lot. Yes, sir. So after Survivor, what I did was, because there was a lot going on, people wanted to do meet and greets or whatever, and then starting Young Strength Missions, I ended up selling my beach service.
Oh, really?
I sold it 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I'm doing more TV related things at the moment. Like we just redid a house for Beachfront Bargain Hunt. It's this HGTV show.
Right.
My mama and I, we bought a house and we fixed it up and they filmed it and we just got done building it and they're going to release the episode in April.
Okay. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Great.
So a lot of cool little things like that. I'm doing a jet ski rental business now. I'm always doing different things, Mr. Andy.
That is awesome. And then the wrestling thing.
Yeah. And make money doing that too.
Yeah. And so you're actually pursuing that now.
Yes, sir.
Not just training for it, but pursuing it. So are you a good guy or a bad guy?
I'm a good guy.
Okay.
They call it baby face and heel. Baby face, the good guy. Heel is a bad guy.
Well, I knew you're too nice to be a good guy. I mean, to be a bad guy.
Thank you.
So are you wrestling under your name?
No, sir. So Mr. Lex, he gave me his name. The total package is what they used to call Mr. Lex. And it was years ago though. And now it's going to be the total package 2.0.
So you are the total package.
The total package.
2.0.
Yes, sir.
That's what we watch for on WWE.
That's right.
All right.
Lord willing, I hope it goes to WWE. I'm working towards, there's different stages. So there's independent, and I'm in the independent stage, and I just had a big match with AEW. And if I can stay with AEW for a while, that would be great. And then maybe in the future, WWE, because Mr. Lex has so many roots there.
Sure.
That's his spot. Yes, sir.
Man, I've got so many questions about professional wrestling, but I don't want to offend you. I don't want you to put me in a Las Vegas leg lock.
No, I wouldn't do that.
So how is there, you got to learn how to fall. I mean, you've got to, otherwise you just be crippled.
It's, people say it's fake. It's staged, but like you're really falling.
Yeah, you got a script, but you're really hitting stuff and you're really hitting the floor.
Right. You can set it up to where you get hurt less, but I'm really falling and people are really hitting you.
Yeah.
When you hear a smack, it's a real smack.
Right.
And it really hurts. So it's not what people think it is. It's harder than I thought it was. I went in there thinking it was going to be easier.
Like a gymnastics thing.
Right. It's gymnastics while you're in a play and you have to be talking. It's like 3 layers of your acting, but if you make the wrong move, then you can hurt him or hurt yourself in front of 1,000, 2,000 people, and it can set up the whole play or the whole match to not be as good.
Has anybody hit you over the head with a chair yet?
No, sir, but it's coming. It's coming. I have gotten dropped on my head before, and I crunched like a taco. I felt like that. My head was on the ground and my legs came up over my head.
Oh my gosh!
It took a couple days to get over.
I'll bet. Do you ever fall down or get hit or think, am I okay?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm okay. All right, I'm okay. All right.
The adrenaline, though, once it wears off, that's when you're in the car driving home, you go, ooh, what happened there? And then you think back and you go, oh, well, it's because I got thrown over the ropes or I fell wrong.
Here's the leaning tire of pizza hold.
Yeah.
That he dropped me with a full souffle.
That's right.
I remember all those when I was a little kid. We used to watch a guy named Tojo Yamamoto. And I mean, I don't know if he was like a local guy or whatever. But we just loved Tojo Yamamoto. And he must have been a local guy.
Yeah.
Because I was a little older, when all the Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage and all that stuff. And I was already married. I used to tease my wife, like saying, there is my hero, the lovely Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Randy
Yeah.
Macho Man's his manager.
That's right.
She's my wrestling hero. It's the lovely Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And finally just roll her eyes.
And that was a good era. That back then, wow, that's when wrestling really took off. The late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Some of the best times for wrestling. And it's coming back. It's taking off again. People love it.
I am excited. I can't wait to see the Total Package 2.0.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lex gave me his finisher. And it's when you grab them up off the floor and you put them on your shoulders and they're looking up at the sky and you just start breaking their back. It's called the rack. And then you throw them off. And because they surrender, they tap out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. Man, it's so fun. If you ever want to learn anything, Mr. Andy, I'll get you in the ring with me.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Right. That's the kind of friend I am.
Yeah, thanks. We were talking to your buddy out here, and he's got his arm in a sling. And I said, what happened? And he said, I tore my biceps.
That's the story I told him to tell.
Oh, okay. All right. But you really had him in a Boston crab.
That's right. Had him in a half Nelson.
But he said I tore my bicep lifting weights. And I'm like, yeah, that'll never happen to me. I won't tear anything lifting weights. Good grief.
Some people can just be in good shape, I guess.
Well, I'm in fairly decent shape.
You are.
I mean, I look good for 86, don't I?
Oh, you look great for 50,
Yeah.
60.
One thing that I was curious about that I wanted to ask about, you recently set a world record.
Yes, sir.
And tell me, you set a world record for pull-ups. Is it pull-ups?
Pull-ups and chin-ups.
Pull-ups and chin-ups with weight on you.
Yes, sir.
How much weight?
It was 100 pounds on my back.
100 pounds on your back. And it's how many chin-ups you could do in 60 seconds?
Yes, sir.
How many chin-ups could you do in 60 seconds with 100 pounds on your back?
I did 15 with 100 pounds with chin-ups. I think it was either 14 or 15 with pull-ups.
What's the difference in a pull-up and a chin-up?
Chin-up is this. Your hands are turned this way.
Okay.
Pull-ups are this way.
Okay.
Both are about as equally as hard as the other.
100 pounds?
Yeah. It's a lot.
I'm not sure I could carry 100 pounds to you to put it on your back. And so that's a world record.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm working on another world record where it's the furthest hatchet throw in the world. So I got this target. I made a target, and it's 200 feet. You got to hit a target with a hatchet. I just love Guinness World Records. I like the idea of it. You set something that nobody has broken yet. And then when somebody breaks it, I think it's kind of cool. It's like an endless competition with the whole world,
right? With
different people, even if you never met them. It's just you're in competition. I love competition. I love it.
And so how do you so you're practicing this hatchet throw?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got to get
200 feet.
Yes, sir. And you got to hit a little target. It's not like that door. It's like a circle. You got to get it inside the circle.
Can you do they have to be there when you do it, and you just you have 2 tries and that's it, and then they go home if you don't get it? Or because the way I would do it would be the way you see these people on Instagram. They do something that's incredible. You did that for a week before you put that ping pong ball in that quarter-size thing.
Exactly. That's the way I like it.
Yeah.
I'll send you the video. That's how it works with Guinness. Is you can do the world record, but you have to film everything very precisely. You have to have the exact measurements of the target and the hatchet. And once you can prove to them that you're doing it right, you don't have to have somebody from Guinness there. You can get somebody to come all the way down, but it's cheaper just to do it the video way.
Right. So when are you going to make your move on that one?
So I was going to do it in January, but they pushed back the HGTV show to April.
Right.
And I was going to use it as a publicity thing to,
Gotcha. Okay.
I
want an invitation to that.
Okay, you got it.
I want to come to that.
Yes, sir. I was going to do the news thing where hey, we also have a show on HGTV coming out.
Right.
Tune in.
Sure. And you do something else that I find fascinating. You free dive.
Yes, sir.
You free dive and spearfish.
Yes, sir.
And we got a good buddy. And in fact, Chandler.
I love Chandler. He's my friend.
Yeah. Chandler Wilson is Matt and Becca Wilson's son and Daigle's brother. And Chandler is on scholarship at Louisiana Monroe.
Yes, sir.
So,
man, he is a great guy, Chandler and Mr. Matt. I've become close friends with them in this year.
Yeah.
I've been getting close to them, and they're really good people.
So tell me about the freediving thing. Where did that come in? And when I'm talking about freediving, that's you're going down deep without a scuba tank.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, how did you get interested in that? And
I've always been a water guy. I've always loved the water. I love the ocean. I think God outdid himself. I love it. And when I was 1920, I started going by the jetty, where a lot of people go to surf.
Sure.
The point, and I started getting in slowly to, around the rocks. Now we go way out. So I've been doing it for about 12 years. And now me and Chandler will go out to 12, 13 miles, and we'll go down 50, 80 feet, shoot the fish, and come up with it. It's such an adrenaline rush because you never know what's right around the corner. Sometimes I think about that. Like, man, there could be a giant bull shark 100 feet that way, and I have no idea. I don't know. The adrenaline of it.
80 feet down. First of all, how long does it take you to get down there?
About 30 seconds.
And then, so I'm assuming it'd take 30 seconds to get up.
It's a little faster to come up because you want that breath.
Yeah, but so there's a minute.
Yes, sir.
Of holding your breath and exerting, your strength, exerting your breath. You're using it. And so,
yes, sir.
How long do you have down there to find a fish?
I can hold my breath for about 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, some people can do for 7, which is crazy. I'm not there yet. Lots of better spear fishermen than me, but I'm pretty good. So I can go down 2, 3 minutes and shoot a good snapper, come up happy. It's a lot of fun. If you ever want to go with us, Mr. Matt.
Yeah, Matt and I talk all the time.
Yeah.
Matt and I talk all the time. I've got Chandler on the penalty phase of no pictures. He gets penalized if he doesn't send me a picture of the fish he spears.
Yes, sir.
So,
man, he gets some good ones.
Yeah, man. I'm just shocked. So I think rather than fishing, I'm gonna tie a leash on Chandler this year and just fish him.
Yeah.
Let him. All right. Down, boy. Down.
That's right.
Come back up. Bring my fish.
Claim the fish when he brings it back up.
Yeah.
That counts.
Because he's gotten some big snapper and big AJs and just, I'm just shocked.
He shot a 25-pound red snapper recently. And that's not normal.
Yeah.
Cobia, all of it. He's a driven guy with football, with spearfishing, and things that he likes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Chandler a lot.
Chandler likes spearfishing more than he likes football.
I know.
Sorry, there's not professional spearfishing.
Yeah. There is.
Maybe there is.
It's hard to get into that realm. Even the professionals don't make a whole lot of money a lot of times.
Right.
Football's way more. You can make a lot more money with football.
Right. Sheesh. Well, man, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. I would love to get you back sometime and talk to you more about the Young Strength missions and see some more about what's going on with that. How can we help you, Jonathan? What can we do to help you?
Just if you have any time, go to youngstrengthmissions.com and see what we're doing. See if it's anything you want to be a part of. Because, like I said, we're not making any money. We just want to help. And when people help, I think that that a lot of people are very thankful. And I know that when you're not there, you don't know. But man, it's changing people's lives.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much. And
Thank you, Mr.
I just appreciate you more than you know. I always love seeing your smiling face.
Thank you.
And so just very good.
Thank
My
you.
son Adam wants to go diving with you and
Come
Chandler
on.
sometime. He and Chandler have been together.
Is that him with that shark right
That's
there?
him.
Good
That's him.
grief.
Caught that from the beach.
How long is that?
A 12-foot, 3-inch tiger shark.
Goodness.
Caught it from the beach. And that's him turning around the tiger shark in the surf.
Oh, he's ready.
Yeah, he's kind of a crazy person like you.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We'll get along great.
Yeah, it'd be great. Well, thank you, buddy.
Yes,
thank
sir.
you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. I'm Andy Andrews, the professional noticer, harnessing common sense and wisdom to plow through challenges all the way to an answer for you. And I think that'll do it for this week. Get us out of here, Matthew. So, ladies and gentlemen, and to the boys and girls who aspire to become ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of another episode of The Professional Noticer. In a world where common sense has become a superpower, I'm harnessing that tiny bit of mental energy I have for you, seeking wisdom, making observations, and endeavoring to answer tough questions in a way that will empower your family and your business. I'm Andy Andrews. Until next week, goodbye. This episode of The Professional Noticer was produced by Matt Limper. The Noticer theme written and performed by Sugarcane Jane. Mask and fins for the cast and crew provided by Twinkle and Smoke of Beverly Hills. Additional financial consideration provided by rawtoast.com. Have you ever ordered toast in a restaurant only to have it delivered to your table too dark or too light? Has one side been soggy while the other side was dry as dust? Well, did you know you can cook toast yourself? That's right. If you're prepared, you can actually make toast at home. Let us help. At rawtoast.com, we provide 35 slices of raw, uncooked toast packaged nicely in a form-fitting plastic bag. Best of all, we offer raw toast in different flavors: plain, whole wheat, sourdough, cinnamon, and rye. It's as easy to use as it is good for you. That's rawtoast.com.